Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast.
I think it's time to either show out or move on for Jalen Graham, linebacker for the 49ers. You know, he's been on this roster countdown 3 consecutive seasons. As a rookie, he was number 65, a 7th-round pick linebacker at a position of need at the time, and just couldn't do anything. Got basically no reps in training camp whenever I was there, not much preseason play, and just struggled, giving up huge, monstrous, big plays in the passing and run game. But then, he was on the practice squad all year, his rookie year, and it comes in last year on our roster countdown, number 45, and it was like, oh, it's time to compete, overcome guys like DFF or whatever else. Didn't happen. They brought in a bunch of new outside guys, and they all got playing time over him. They cut him. He jumped on Washington's practice squad with Adam Peters just to come back when the 49ers had so many injuries, and actually got some playing time last year and wasn't awful. Wasn't very good either. Well, now this year he's back to below where he started, number 66 on our countdown. So 65 to 45 to 66 this year. And I think that's a 21 spot drop from last season. I think it's kind of put up time or move on time because he's not one of Robert Saleh's guys. And while, he's a small, undersized linebacker, Robert Saleh loves that, he's not fast. In fact, he's one of the slowest linebacker 10-yard split guys in the NFL. Really, really bad. So, special teams, have been meh. I just don't. With the addition of so many new linebackers, I was really, really shocked that Jalen Graham was brought back. But this is somebody that has played in this system under 2 separate defensive coordinators, Steve Wilks, Nick Sorensen. Makes me throw up a little bit every time I say his name. But now he gets a quality. I think Steve Wilks is a very good coach, but he didn't specialize in linebackers. Robert Saleh is one of the best in the business. So if there ever was a pathway to success and playing time, perhaps it's under Robert Saleh. And, he knows the system, he knows the reads, he knows the calls, he knows the locker room, he knows the team, he knows everything. But it's time. He wears jersey number 41. He's 6'2", 220. He is in the 1 percentile of linebackers in the NFL. He is tiny, tiny. Now, that's not a flaw for Robert Saleh. He likes the undersized guys. 33-inch arms, that's really good. 24 years old, still young. Ran a 4.6. That's not ideal. Ran a 1.68 10-yard split. It's probably his worst measurable. That's bottom 12 percentile of linebackers. Like, he didn't have the burst. 7.33 cone, not good change of direction. 30-inch vertical, not great. 9.4 broad, not great. 18 bench press reps, decent. It's this small and slow is a bad call. If you're big and slow, all right, cool. You could be short yardage and all that stuff. Small and slow, that's rough. Now, he has the length, and he was a coverage guy. And so his instincts, coverage, length are his 3 traits that say, okay, this is why he has a shot. You put in his measurables and his comps and whatever else. Like, you could pull some guys. Jalen Smith, Wesley Woodyard, Kendall Pope, similar there. But, again, small and slow is not good for any position in the NFL. Maybe kicker. He's entering his 3rd season, and he's out of Detroit, Michigan. Went to Cass Tech High School, then committed to the Purdue Boilermakers. Combined Purdue and Boilermakers. Don't do that. Here an honorable mention, all Big Ten honors, and coaches and media poll, and was a 3-star recruit coming out as a defensive back. He played that star role, and whenever Wilks was here, it's similar to the role Fred Warner played, where it's this hybrid safety nickel linebacker spot, this star role, which a lot of college teams are going to with, standard 5 and 6 DB sets, where you have this hybrid. It's not quite a nickel, not quite a safety, not quite. It's just that. And so he has the coverage and instincts. That's probably his best trait. It just hasn't translated. Now, you go back to, his high school days. Team went 11-2. He's one of the leaders of that team. Got to the 2nd round in the Michigan State playoffs. Then led a different school to Birmingham Detroit County Day School to the state championship as a sophomore. He was a quarterback and a defensive back. So awareness, instincts off the chart. That team went 13-1. Versatility is there, and he's kind of a tweener, right? 6'2", 220. That's a defensive back a lot of times today in the NFL, not a linebacker, and he hasn't really added a lot of weight either. So, energy-driven, hybrid player who needs to make the full-time conversion to a 4-3 linebacker, and it just hasn't happened yet. We had him ranked as the number 22 linebacker in the class he was drafted in with the 7th-round grade. That's where he went. Scott McLuhan, the old 49ers GM, had a 4th-round grade on him 2 years in a row. In his interview with Matt Barrows on The Athletic that he does after the draft every year. So McLuhan was really, really high on him. And again, I remember the article, he talked about instincts, coverage, like the fact that he can be that guy. It just has not happened. Now, he plays faster than his testing indicates because of instincts. He reckoned former quarterback, right? Makes sense. Ball hawk skills. He can get his hands on the football. But he spent all of 2023 as a developmental linebacker. Then he gets cut before the 53-man, the final 53-man cut down last year. Adam Peters, who was the assistant GM when we drafted him, the 49ers, they claim him. Stuck on their practice squad until we had, the whole Devondre Campbell incident. And then the 49ers brought him back. And so, you take him from their practice squad to your active squad. He got some playing time. Just never really, it wasn't special. 8 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. He played 36 defensive snaps, 183 special team snaps, and the special teams weren't that good. That's kind of the issue. And so can he put up or shut up? And you look at the roster, guys that are ahead of him. Warner, Winters, Nick Martin, Tatum Bethune, Luke Gifford, Curtis Robinson, who probably going to start off on the pup, so maybe that doesn't affect the 53-man roster. But, if Jalen Graham's going to make this team, he's got to pass 2 or 3 of these guys. And, I've been there at training camp, and there was a lot of excitement for 41, Jalen Graham, because there's a few plays that you've seen in preseason where it pops up and it's just like, oh, that's it. Make a tackle for losses, fill in, an ISO role and all these different things. And it's just like, ooh, you can see it at times. He does not get reps. I've been to almost every single training camp practice, 3 years running. Dude just does not get reps. He's not out there with the 1s. He's not out there with the 2s. Sometimes he's out there with the 3s, but the 3s don't get very many chances. And he's rotating with the 3s. Now you've got Robert Saleh, who brought in a lot of different guys. I don't know. I don't have a lot of hope for Jalen Graham this year, but this is somebody that the 49ers stole back from Adam Peters and put on their active roster last year down the stretch. So can he start there and improve? 3rd year is huge, and it's time. Because if he doesn't make the 53, do not expect him back here. I wouldn't be shocked if he does go, back to the Commanders or somewhere else. But, it just seems like it's time, especially with so many young bucks at that position ahead of him. D. Winters, Curtis Robinson, Tatum Bethune, Nick Martin. 4 young guys all ahead of him currently. We'll have to see. Now, I'm not counting out Jalen Graham. I'm just saying it's now or never for the red and gold. And, man, I hope he answers the call, because whenever he has played well and you could string together a few plays and be like, ooh, this guy belongs, just not consistent. We'll see what happens.